Our dive master Mike, giving you okay? You guys give him a big wave. Big wave. You can see through this window.
Now we can look at right here. Here, boy. Yeah, the duck boy is not there, but I thought one was like girl, one was a boy. That's what I thought. It's a
Did they die?
Okay guys, for those of you that just joined us, we have our Shark Bay window. Just at the very beginning, so what we call Dive with the Sharks. We have a guest in there today. The one with the fancy pixie stick there is Mike, one of our dive masters. The other one is our guest, Alex. This is a program we offer anyone 15 years or older and scuba certified. It's a 30-minute program where you spend your time here in the water and all of our fabulous sharks and other animals here in Shark Bay. Now Mike is sitting outside the cage, making sure everything's okay, and telling our guests to kneel down on the bottom there. After Mike closes the door, what they will do is swim behind those 3 rocks into the back. That second splash there, or third splash really, was our other dive master. You can see the camera right there in Brad's hand. And he's going to be taking some pictures of this experience throughout the whole time. And once everything is okay, Mike heads behind those rocks there. Now Brad's trying to get that hook to close the door. Everything's okay. He's saying one last wave. Guys can give our guests a wave. And then they'll head behind those rocks. Now it looks like Brad's taking a picture of us guys, big smiles. Part of the joy of this experience is that you also are on exhibit. With our guests right there, we're going to go swim back behind those rocks. I think that's just where they spend their time. They kneel down because we don't want these guys swimming around and running into the animals. So what we do is have our guests stay behind those rocks and the animals come to them. As you'll see, the animals get really close and kind of just pan across, very curious. Look up close at all the action going on in the tank. One of my favorites is Gillard the Life Grouper, which he does almost every time, so I hope he'll do it today. Is he likes to come out from the boat and head over to the rocks, sit on our guests' heads, sit on their shoulders, and open his mouth right in their face. Makes for some great photo ops. Really funny for our audience. The guest half the time doesn't even know he's there. Now Gill is actually a 225-pound bony fish. The life groupers can get over 600 pounds, up to 800 pounds, or even 1,000 pounds was the biggest on record, about the size of a VW bus.
Stop it! Well, you're pounding my back. Stop it! You're pounding my back.
And we're back behind the rocks there, and Brad is taking pictures of the experience. And this is a 30-minute program for any guests 15 years or older and scuba certified, called Dive with the Sharks. And as you see, we do get outside of that cage. All the sharks in this tank are called non-aggressive species. We do have 5 different species in this tank, which you can find throughout the world. Yeah, we're closing the dive. Our team members how cold is it in there? It's about 74 degrees, 76 degrees. So it's a little chilly, but they're wearing that wetsuit. It's definitely
Esperamos el acuario
Your announcement says we will be closing at 5 o'clock. If you're just joining us here in front of our Shark Bay window, what you guys are seeing is our Diving Shark program for anyone 15 years or older and SCUBA certified. Now, right above our guest diver's head, we do have one of our fabulous sea turtles. The one with the very short side flippers there is Arnold. Arnold is a loggerhead sea turtle. You'll notice how much larger her head and neck are compared to our other sea turtles. She has a heart-shaped shell, also is a little bit shorter lengthwise. But Arnold actually came to us from Clearwater Marine Aquarium. The reason she's in this tank is because she was found wrapped in monofilament. Her front flippers in particular were wrapped very tightly, and so they had to amputate them. That's why she has those very short front flippers. She is what's considered unreleasable into the wild because of that injury. However, in this tank, she and her buddy Flip don't have any problems with these sharks. Now, Flip is over on top of our boat right now, coming in for a landing. She is our other sea turtle. She's actually an Atlantic green sea turtle. Now, all sea turtle species are at least protected. The loggerhead species are a protected species. The green sea turtles are an endangered species. Now, the reason we can have these turtles in here again is because they're unreleasable into the wild. Flip was also brought to us from Clearwater Marine Aquarium, and she had a paralyzation of her back left flipper. That's where she gets her name, Flip. And also, even though it's a little half moon shape taken out of her side. Now, we don't know exactly how that happened. We think it potentially could have been a shark when she was very young, but it's not any of these species that you'll find in this tank. The sea turtle eaters, especially the young sea turtles, are bull sharks and tiger sharks. Now, Flip and Arnold do just fine in this tank, get around just fine, but again, wouldn't do too well out in the wild. If you guys are just getting here, you're seeing our Dive with the Sharks program. It's offered to anyone 15 years or older and SCUBA certified. 30-minute program. If you'd like more information, you can see me at our guest services in our lobby. We do have a real live guest in there in the blue, kneeling behind those rocks, with two of our dive masters. Now, before I move on to the shark species in this tank, I'll talk about the other fish. I already talked about our one-bellied fish, Gil, and we're hoping to see him a little later on. The other fish you'll see are these silver fish that swim around in the air, kind of school, if you will. These guys are Crevalle jacks, and they do spend all their time swimming together, just like bony fish will typically do, swim in a school. They're adorable. They'd be more in that little school. Now, these guys are very fast swimmers, very strong, and these guys actually like to get up and try to steal our shark's food when we feed them. And so sometimes you'll see little battle wounds on them because the sharks don't really like that. They're not trying to hurt them, but they're trying to say, hey, get out of my way, without any other way to communicate. You will see that from time to time. Now, moving on to the sharks we have in here, we do have a lot of sharks, as you'll notice, that are not as big as people. They're in fact quite small. The one right in front of our window is a relatively new addition, only been in here a couple of months. That is one of our black-tipped reef sharks. Those two will keep swimming and swimming around all the time. Have the blacks on the tips of their fins, very easy to identify. The bigger one of our two black tips is actually the oldest shark in this tank, at about 19 years old, and swimming down towards the bottom in front of the window right now. Now, also at the top of the tank, swimming around